Hello everyone. Wow, another week just passed and I hope you guys had a great week. My name is Ken. Currently I'm a software engineer at Uber. I have been working for Uber for 2 years and before that I worked for Amazon for 4 years and I had like maybe 3 4 years working experience in Vietnam. And today is special, yeah, like today's session. So like I said, I wanted to speak in English. This could be the first time I'm doing this kind of live streaming in English. Yeah, a bit nervous because you know that like in many previous sessions, so I told you guys that my English is not good at all. So yeah, hopefully like all of you can understand me well, and hopefully like uh, this kind of like live streaming session like using English and talk about like the topic that I want to say, so it will help like both you and me to improve ourselves. Like for example, for me, so it will help me to improve my presentation skill, communication skill in English. Like I have been doing like a lot of presentation uh, in my company, in my work, but like presenting something to like a lot of uh, viewer, a lot of like viewers, audience on YouTube. So it's not easy at all, right? And that will help me to improve myself, and hopefully with like this kind of things, you guys can get more familiar with like English in touch, and like maybe learn something from my experience but in English. Oh yeah, yeah, it was I hello Phúc Nguyễn. Thank you for uh, your congratulations. Yep, I will talk about the topic later. uh, Yep, like you said, so you heard me speaking English once, right? In a mock interview. Yep, that's right. Yeah, but it was not live streaming, and I was not the main person who was talking all the time, because like the interviewee, right? He was the one who like talking most of the time. For interviewer, it was kind of much easier, just kind of listening. So this is a little bit different, and I hope that I will receive many questions from you guys in English too. So and yeah, you can ask about anything, any topic that you want to know, so I will try to answer. Okay, I think we have like 11 concurrent viewers today, but I only have 6 likes. So that means like someone is viewing, watching, but does not like the video. So if you hear me, so please like the video, because I rely on that to live. Yeah. Um, I think, yeah, many of you guys are asking about like my wedding, and like how did I meet my uh, wife, and yeah, uh, how could we like get the relationship become a marriage. So yep, I think I will share more about that. Uh, at the beginning, so I was actually going to talk about some like lead code topic, like how to prepare lead code and like what problem solving skill or like some tip or trick that I use to like solve some basic lead code problem, and maybe demonstrating like how to solve a basic one, a simple one. But like I think today I will change because like I like it was a busy week for me, and it will be a busy week next week. So I think I don't have much energy to do some lead code problem right now with you guys. So I think like talking about maybe what is happening in my life, the wedding, is something maybe uh, easier for me and more interesting for me. So okay, yeah. I Let me answer the question about like how does you guys met and got married. So you guys know that like um, 6 years ago, like December 2017, I went to Canada. Like I got the work permit from a sponsor from Amazon, right? To go to Canada to work for them. And I went to Canada and like start working for Amazon from January 2018. And that's the life in like a foreign country, like uh, the, in Canada, right? Like I don't have any relatives. I don't have like any close friends there. So I kind of just try to kind of establish more connection with people, Vietnamese people in US and Canada. So I joined a group that created by a friend, like not really a friend, but a person I know. Like she was the one that has very wide connection with like a lot of people in US and Canada. So she thought about like um, how she can help the um, her friend, like the one with does not have like any relationship. We call it like FI, right? Forever alone, like single, like someone like still single, so they may want to like find a boyfriend or girlfriend, but it's kind of difficult when we are in like uh, countries that like not Vietnam, right? Yeah, in Vietnam, so it's easier to kind of know more people, talk with more people, but it's not easy in like a country like US or Canada. So I joined that group, and then so there was a guy who kind of older than me, and like he was kind of very active in the group, and he want to organize a trip, like adventure trip together. So like some group members we uh, like meet each other and like go to a national park in US. So we it was a group of 8 people. So and my wife was one of them. So like she was invited by a friend who attended the group. So at that time, so I was working for Amazon for 6 months. So like still very new in US and Canada. And for my wife, so she already studied 2 years in US and was going to finish her master course in marketing at that time. So yeah, and we met each other in a big group, and we are like kind of two youngest people, and yeah, I was the youngest boy and youngest man, and she was the youngest woman in the group, and yeah, I think we had a lot of things in common, and during 1 week trip, so we talked with each other a lot, and yeah, we started have some feelings, some chemistries about each other, and after the trip, so we form a relationship, and yeah, I think like became boyfriend and girlfriend from that time. So it was in July 2018. But that was a coincidence that I think very interesting. Like maybe some of you kind of doesn't believe it. Like 10 years ago in 28, right? Like when I was a first year student, so I study Hanoi University of Science and Technology, right? And she is like she living in Hanoi, like with her parents, and her home is like at the same lane, like same street with the place that I was rented, right? Um, so at that time we live like the my rental place was just like a few homes from like my wife home. So we was just like every day when I go to the bus stop to take the bus from Câu Giày to Bách Khoa, so I go past my wife's house. But at that time, so we never meet each other. Even like we go past each other maybe many times, so we never met and we never know each other. But like 10 years later, so like ha- like in a very far distance, right? Half round of the earth. So we met each other in US, and like yeah, I think it was like something interesting. Like we call it like how to call it like duyên phận, right? In Vietnamese, so we call it duyên phận. Like uh, I th- many people say that if we met each other earlier, we may not become a couple. But like at that time, so in 1980, sorry, 2018, so it was the perfect time for us, and we became a couple. Uh, Someone asked like who confessed first, you or her? So me. Of course, like I was a proactive man, so I does I'm not hesitate to confess my love to someone. Uh, yeah, and yeah, that how we met, and then like I think it was an interesting story. I hope so. Maybe like the way I tell you, so it doesn't sound interesting. Maybe it's like I don't have like storytelling skill. Someone asked about like tell us a poem that you wrote to her. There were a lot, but I never memorized them. So I just wrote them down and send it to her. I'll give it to her, but like yeah, I never memorize it. So, but if you guys want, so I can try to find one poem. Uh, Hopefully it's not too sad. Uh, Give me a second. So I'm looking for it on Facebook. I think I post it somewhere. Uh, well, I think it's hard to find it now. I think maybe next time, so I will share some poems that I wrote for her. But like, uh, um, my wife said that like I'm not a romantic man, even that like I wrote a lot of poems for her, about her. Yeah, maybe like my poems are not romantic, but I think it's fine. Okay, I could, let's see if like there are more questions for me. Uh, Hi anh có thể chia sẻ thinking in English and khi nghe thì nghe được tầm 80% không? Anh em đọc trans thì hiểu được, còn không thì rất khó. Uh, so yeah, I think to be able to think in English, so you have to practice speaking English a lot, like and try to like not to stop a lot, like try to not to be like me, like thinking too much about like what I would say, right? uh, just like try to speak as much as possible, as fluent as possible. You can like just speak with yourself, or you can do some live streaming like I'm doing right now, right? Like it doesn't need to be like talking with someone to practice thinking in English. The more you use English, so it will come very naturally. Like the more you use it, so when you speak English, so this you just wanted to think in English instead of thinking in Vietnamese and translate it to English, because like uh, the brain is always lazy, right? So if like you practice much enough, so it will start forming some connection to like make a short way to have the result when you talk. So like you will kind of start thinking in English naturally. So the key is just like practice speaking a lot more. Uh, Someone asking where are you from? I'm from Nghệ An. Yeah. So currently I'm at my parents' home in Nghệ An. So I come from like a district called Thái Hoa, or like it was called Nghĩa Đan before. And yeah, I really like my hometown, because like the atmosphere is here is much better than uh, Hanoi. Like I mean the air quality so is very fresh, unlike Hanoi. So when I was in Hanoi, my nose was congested because like it was kind of, yeah, the dust is the small dust, tiny dust are everywhere, so right, so it get into my nose and it caused some problem. And when I kind of came back to my hometown Nghệ An, so the air is fresh and like there's no that's in the air, right? But like it's not as much as in Hanoi. So my health and my nose got improved. So yeah, I think that's a good thing to stay in the hometown. And someone asked about like dynamic programming problems, but like sorry, but today is not uh, the day that I have the mood to answer the question about programming. Maybe I can talk about life, talk about wedding, etc. How many days per week do you have to code in Uber? So, coding time is around like 70% or maybe 60%, and the rest of time I use for like researching, investigating, right? Uh, Learning more things, reviewing design or like deep from peer, like from other coworker, and yeah, some other kind of stuff. Okay. Uh, Nhân Trung, he said that your destiny is to marry her. Yeah, I think so. And there was another story. Like I think that also tell about like why like my destiny is with her. Um, the story was like after we are in relationship for 1 year, so it was back in 2019. So my wife, so at that time she was my girlfriend, right? So she came to visit me in Vancouver. So she was living in Chicago. So Chicago and Vancouver, so it's like Hanoi and Japan, right? Like it was like 5 hour flight. So it's kind of very long time, right? So like we only met each other once a month. So either I fly to Chicago to meet her, or like she fly to maybe Seattle or like California, and so I will come there to meet her. So that's how we met each other and keep the relationship strong. But like in 2019, so she came to Vancouver to visit me, and like at that time, so we discussed more about like our long-term relationship, like uh, if like we want to continue the long distance relationship like between Chicago and Vancouver, or we want to kind of move uh, to together. But it was not easy for her to like move from US to Canada because like he does not have um, work permit or student permit to move, right? So she can only stay in US after graduation from the master course. So but like so we had some argument, like some fighting about like our long-term goal, like whether we will kind of unite or like we will separate. And like at that time, so we were thinking about like separating separation, right? Like I mean breaking up. So because like she felt that like it's kind of hard to like to stay back in Vancouver, and like we also saw some like some problem in our relationship, like what we are kind of heading to, like our career goal, and like some personality of each other, so we were going to break up. So she was booking the flight just for 1 week from Chicago to Vancouver to visit me, and like on the day back, so from Vancouver to Chicago, she was crying a lot, and me too. Like because we thought that maybe this will be the last time we met each other. After that, she might like came back to Vietnam uh, to to land some job, because like she was graduated from university, right? And yeah, and um, like I didn't want to see her to go, right? And like her feeling was also missing. Like she wanted to stay, but she also wanted to go. Like she had to go. So uh, on that day, so I took her to the airport. So was going to say goodbye, and maybe like we never meet again, and maybe like we would break up at that time, at that moment, yeah, in 2019. uh, but one thing happened. So um, I think like God didn't want us to break up. So there was a like snowstorm happening in Chicago at that time, so the flight was canceled. So she got a full refund, but like she couldn't buy another ticket to fly back to Chicago at that time. So she had to stay in Vancouver uh, for like a few more days. Yeah. So yep. So like I think that changed everything. Like uh, we came back to my apartment. So because like she couldn't take the flight, right? So and like we think about our relationship again, and like we think about like why like there's a snowstorm today, like, and maybe like God does not want her to come back, does not want us to separate it. So yeah, we talk with each other, we try to solve our problems, and after that everything went well, and like she stayed longer with me, like for like more than 3 months after that. So she came back to Vietnam to get them some job, because like as a visitor, so she couldn't like stay longer in Canada. So and like we still keep our relationship strong by like me visiting her like at the end of the year, and like I met her parents, and also take my parents to met her parents, and like we have some like serious conversation about like our relationship. And like in 2020, so uh, I convinced her and her parents to kind of let her go to Canada with me, and then like we got married in Canada a few months later. And like actually like yeah, we become wife and husband for more than 3.5 years. So this time, so we came back to Vietnam for the wedding, but like yeah, it's just kind of the ceremony. We yeah, to get up to make it official for like my family and her family and like everyone we know in Vietnam. But like yeah, legally we have been husband and wife for like 3.5 years. uh yep, that's another story. So I don't know if like this thing is interesting or not. But like there are many, there are not many viewers today. I think like maybe like because I speak English, right? And I know that many of my audience, so they are not English speaker or like uh, yeah, of course. Some of you like learn know English, right? Some of you might like speak English very well, listening it English very well, but I think in my audience base, so like most of the people does not speak English well, so that's why today so we don't have many people joining the live stream. Or maybe another reason is that my topic is not interesting, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to do a long live streaming today like I did in previous sessions. Um, any other question for me? So if not, so I just want to share with you that like yeah, um we will have a wedding in Nghệ An, my hometown, next week, next Saturday. So I think next Friday, so I will not be doing the streaming, live streaming at all, because like yeah, it will be, you know, that the wedding in the countryside, like my hometown. So the night before the wedding, it will be very noisy because like everyone will join the party with music and we dance, we call it quậy, yeah, the whole night. So I would maybe like if possible, so I may be streaming like what we do in my hometown at that time, but like it will be very loud and noisy. So yeah, may not be a good thing to stream on this channel because this one is about tech, right? But and in January 6th, so we will have a wedding in Hanoi. So my wife is from Hanoi, right? So we will have to have two weddings, one in Nghệ An and one in Hanoi. And we had Ăn Hỏi last week, so last Saturday. So it was like a hectic week for us. Like we had to do many things to prepare for like many type of ceremony. We have to go about the outside and like rent the wedding dress, and I need to bought my suit, my vest, and stuff. So there were a lot of work for the wedding. So like if you are married, so I think you understand. Uh, to, thank you Phúc Nguyễn for saying that. Like it's so nice to hear. Like for you, this is even more interesting than normal algorithm interview live stream. Yeah, I hope so. Uh, yeah, but like I hope that many people will like it, but it seems not. Like I don't have many viewers today, but it's fine. Yeah, just doing this for fun, and I hope that you guys will come back with me next time. Not next week, but maybe the week after. So I hope I will gonna bring some more useful topic, and we'll try to help you guys to like uh, to learn more about the tech career. So before like before we say goodbye today, so I want to hear about your feedback about like if how many percentage you guys can understand me, like is that like 50%, 20%, or 70%, like how well could you understand me, and like do you want to me to like continue doing this kind of session like in English? You know that like um I'm not like good English speaker, right? And kind of it's also a pressure for me when like streaming in English, because I have to keep talking, right? Yeah, and talking in Vietnamese is always easier. But if you guys find it helpful for you guys, so I will keep doing this. Otherwise, so I will come back and just do this session in Vietnamese. Uh, Maybe a last question from Treasure Flash. So he asked about like, do you think uh, need learn by a native accent? I watch lots of course from India, so I think it's so easy to understand. Uh, I, the short answer is that like you don't need to kind of learn from native speaker, like because like if you work in touch, so you will meet many people that are not native speaker. I think like maybe 90% of people working in touch are not native speaker, and like they come from India, they come from China, they come from Vietnam, or come from Europe, come from South American like Brazil or Argentina, right? All of them have very like special accent from their country. So like it's kind of very important to talk with people who are not using the native accent and try to understand them, because like it could be like what happened in the real life, in the real work, right? So and I think like even for IELTS or TOEFL, so right now currently they are trying to like use more material from non-native speaker for like listening test. So I think that's more closer to the real life. Um, yeah, it's so nice that like I know that people can understand me well. So yeah, that's good thing. And I hope that you guys enjoy today's session, and hope you guys had a have a great weekend and a great week ahead after that. So bye bye.